of goods.
Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news on our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan says the performance of various public institutions in the country has improved due to the Comptroller and Auditor General's yearly report, which highlights on the areas of call for improvement. Speaking shortly after receiving the Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau Performance Report and Comptroller and Auditor General audit reports for the 2022-2023 fiscal year, President Samia says the government invests significantly in the improvement of public institutions. The move has fostered trust in public institutions among citizens and internationally, leading to an increase of 99% of clean audits. It's a report by Zaudia Swale, read to you by Teddy Mparanyang.
It is President Samia Suluhu Hassan receiving Comptroller and Auditor General report for the financial year 2022-2023 and performance report of Tanzania's Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau, PCCB, for the year 2022-2023. The PCCB Director General, CP Salum R. Hamduni, says that for the year 2022-2023, the Bureau has conducted an investigation in public institutions and has found that there are loopholes.
79% of the stations that were reached in the analysis, 21% did not have a license. There were also requests to change the land applications into petrol stations, as well as the construction of the petrol stations in the middle of residential areas.
On his part, the Comptroller and Auditor General, CAG Charles Kichere, elaborates on the findings of the report, insisting that the findings indicate some public institutions have suffered losses.
Public organizations that operate commercial have run at loss: Tanzania Airlines, TTCL, the Health Insurance Fund, which has been gaining, especially for the past 5 years.
After receiving the reports, President Samia is pleased with the increase in the number of clean audits, asserting that PCCB and CAG reports contribute to the improvements made.
Tumesikia ongezeko la hati safi.
We have heard the report of the clean audits. It is because the CAG shares the reports, and those who get the report in time get much time to rectify the situation.
She then commends the PCCB for following up on corruption issues at the grassroots level.
Na hapa nataka nimpongeze TAKUKURU.
I congratulate PCCB for cooperating with the citizens, where they identify the problems and forward them to the relevant institutions so that they can be worked on.
Additionally, President Samia has wished all Tanzanians good Easter holidays.
Lakini kuna swaumu, kuna Kwaresma.
But there is fasting and there is Lent. Those who are Lenting, I wish you a happy Easter. Let's go and celebrate Easter peacefully.
President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says his government vows to control soaring cost of living, insisting that the government is doing all that is possible to bring down the cost of living so as to give people a comfortable and affordable way of life. He made the remarks in Pemba, Zanzibar, when he met and talks with the elders of the ruling party, Chama cha Mapinduzi, CCM. Hear more details.
We talked to have said the rice have doubled in terms of prices and transportation has increased. That's why the situation is like this. As the government, we are talking with businessmen as well as rolling taxes so that we can finally reduce the costs of living. Peace and stability.
Tanzanian business communities have been urged to capitalize on business opportunities to sell Tanzanian products in the UK and boost the country's trade balance between the two countries. The move is expected to increase Tanzanian exports to the UK, which currently is estimated to be worth 46 billion shillings compared to the import trade of UK products in the country worth 4.24 trillion shillings. Here are more details. We will come back to that story. We have a bit of technical difficulty. Now, why do many Tanzanians not maximize on the opportunity to export to the UK, and what opportunities does the program provide? We are joined by Ambassador and Director of International Trade and Economic Diplomacy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, John Ulanga, speaking with my colleague Teddy Mparanyanga.
Thank you very much, Gaga. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you.
What do you think are the major factors hindering Tanzanians to export to UK?
I think probably I could categorize into 3 or 4 factors or challenges. One, I think, is lack of awareness. Many businesses, especially small and medium enterprises, they don't know or they're not aware of the opportunities existing in the UK. Number 2, I think, is the inability to deliver the required quality, quantity, and frequency. Because when you do export trade, it's not a one-off type of trade. You'll be told this quality, this quantity, and this frequency. For example, every month, every quarter. You see, so that inability is the second challenge. Third challenge, I think, is lack of working capital, because export trade requires a bit of an investment. So lack of working capital, I think, could be the third challenge. I think let me stop there. 3 challenges.
Okay. What do you think? What opportunities can Tanzanian businessmen, businesswomen get from the DCTS program?
Thank you. So UK DCTS stands for United Kingdom Developing Countries Trading Scheme. And it's a new scheme that has been launched by the UK, I think June last year. And this replaces what used to be called General Scheme of Preferences that was used by the UK, borrowed from the EU. As you know, UK used to be a member of the European Union. So now the DCTS provides a huge opportunity for Tanzanian exporters who are, or Tanzanian producers or traders who are interested to export to the UK. One, it provides for duty-free, quota-free, for 99.8% of goods that we can export to the UK. It means they don't charge import duty, and there's no limit to how much you can import to the UK. Now, so it means our goods are going to be very competitive in the UK market, because once you don't pay duty, and number 2, you don't have limit, it means you can attack the UK market. But number 2, I think the opportunity, which is great, is the opportunity, flexibility in what is called rules of origin. When you're exporting something, a commodity, to a country, you need to prove that that country, that product originates from your country. Now, flexible rules of origin that UK has put in place, or have put in place, requires only 25% of the value of the good to originate from Tanzania. It means you can import raw materials from other developing countries and do value addition here. But that value addition, as long as it constitutes only 25% of the value of the good, that qualifies as a product from Tanzania, and it can benefit from the duty-free, quota-free benefit that has been declared under DCTS. So I think it's a huge opportunity for DCTS, and I think my urge to business people who are in export trade is to grab this opportunity now rather than later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Gaga.
Thank you so much, Teddy. That was Teddy Paranyanga speaking to Ambassador John Ulanga. The Director General of the Tanzania Railway Corporation, TRC, Masanja Kadogosa, says TRC plans to provide financial relief to train passengers by setting conducive ticket prices, reassuring that by the end of July this year, the official SGR train services from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma will begin. He was addressing the Parliamentary Committee on Investment and Public Capital, PIC, who visited the SGR project to inspect its progress. Peter Muganga reports.
Standard gauge railway SGR train trials from Dar es Salaam to Morogoro continue to gain momentum. And now the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Investment and Public Capital, PIC, has the opportunity to eyewitness the progress made. The Director General of Tanzania Railways Corporation, Masanja Kadogosa, says the train tickets price proposed will be conducive to Tanzanians, assuring the people that by the end of July, the Dar es Salaam to Dodoma train operations will begin.
They're supposed to, start operation by the end of July. And so far, the preparation are going very well because part of the testing, what you see is part of preparation. It's a comprised exercise, but also it's part of preparation. Obviously, the price we're coming, is we are very sure it's affordable to everyone, because the affordability is very important. Because once you have the train, if you don't have passengers, that is useless. So obviously, we've come up with the price to make sure that the public can afford it.
On the other hand, the PIC Vice Chairman, Vuma Agustino, says that the SGR train will greatly improve transport services across the regions it passes.
If you take a look at these previous wagons and the current ones, there is a huge difference. They have better quality. There is the presence of ACs. You can travel and look outside the window. We are truly satisfied with the job done.
Furthermore, some stakeholders praise the quality of the standard gauge railway train service.
The train is nice and comfortable for anyone to travel. Entrepreneurs, leaders, and all citizens can use it.
I'm very proud of my leaders, Mama Samia and all the leaders, the government leaders, to make us reach this level as a country. So my call to other Tanzanians that we need to take care of what we have today so that it can last longer, so that we can have and enjoy it for so long.
The SGR project is mentioned to be one of the projects that will contribute Tanzania's economy as well as to simplify services in matter related with the transport in Tanzania. Reporting from Morogoro, I'm Peter Mganga from TBC News.
Now from Morogoro, let's come back to Dar es Salaam, whereby we're told Tanzania and Hungary have signed an agreement to enhance cooperation on the area of water technology in the country. Speaking after signing the agreement in Dar es Salaam, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, January Makamba, says among the things the two countries have agreed upon are water supply systems, including floods control, sewage, and clean water.
But we believe that we can do more. And there's a potential and opportunity to do more. And we've agreed that we'll do trade missions. Private sectors of two countries will visit each other. We'll organize business forums so that business people in Hungary can be exposed to opportunities in Tanzania, and Tanzanian private sector also can be exposed to opportunities in Hungary, so that we can expand trade between our two countries.
On the other hand, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Hungary, Peter Szijjártó, says his country has made progress in the water technologies, hence in better position to exchange experience with Tanzania.
Kind of a relationship after a certain dimension without personal presence. So I have asked for the authorization and the approval of the Minister for Hungary to open a diplomatic representation here in Dar es Salaam, and if I understand correctly, I got it? Yes. So you heard it. So in the upcoming months, we will establish diplomatic representation of Hungary in Dar es Salaam to give the necessary background for the improved cooperation between the two countries.
He adds that in continuing to strengthen the cooperation between Tanzania and Hungary that has lasted for many years, Hungary vows to return its diplomatic representation in this country. Let's have a look at the stories now. Minister of Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, has led a third forum World Bank meeting of the African Region Group 1 for middle-income countries, which aims at discussing how international financial institutions can increase funds to support middle-income countries to enable them to implement various development projects and stimulate economic growth. Here are more details.
Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba says the world experiences various conflicts and economic development challenges, hindering fulfillment of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. He insists the decrease in the financial power in dealing with these conflicts weakens the ability of the government to finance social programs, accelerate the economic recovery, increasing debts in those countries. Additionally, Dr. Nchemba acknowledges the World Bank for its contribution in building the capacity of institutions to achieve sustainable development, but also in reviving the economy despite various challenges. He adds that one country cannot deal with the challenges facing the world on its own, calling for concerted effort in the region in finding solutions to the challenges. On the other hand, the Vice President of the World Bank in charge of the Eastern and Southern Africa region, Victoria Kwaka, says in the past 5 years it has provided aid and cheap loans worth more than $3 billion to countries in the Eastern and Southern Africa region.
Easter, a holiday that is celebrated worldwide for its historical and religious importance. It will be commemorated this Sunday. Now, to understand more about the origin and profound significance of this cherished occasion, here's a feature story by Tbcnews.
Easter, a Christian holiday commemorating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, holds deep historical and spiritual significance. Its roots stem from ancient traditions and beliefs, merging both Christian and pagan practices. Originally, it was connected with the Jewish festival of Passover, symbolizing a time of renewal and rebirth. As Christianity spread, Easter became a pivotal event in the Christian calendar, marking the culmination of Lent, a period of fasting, prayer, and penance. The significance of Easter lies in the belief that Jesus Christ, after being crucified and buried, rose from the dead on the third day. This event, known as the resurrection, symbolizes hope, redemption, and the promise of eternal life for believers. Easter Sunday, the culmination of Holy Week, is a day of joy and celebration for Christians worldwide. Throughout history, Easter has been celebrated with various customs and traditions, including Easter eggs, symbolizing new life and rebirth, and the Easter bunny representing fertility and abundance. These symbols have become ingrained in popular culture, enriching the holiday with a blend of religious and secular elements. Today, Easter is observed in diverse ways around the world, with church services, feasts, egg hunts, and family gatherings. It serves as a time for reflection, gratitude, and spiritual renewal, reminding Christians of the core tenets of their faith. As we celebrate Easter each year, we honor its rich history and enduring significance, embracing the message of hope, love, and resurrection that lies at its heart. Tbcnews, TBC News.
Now let's go back to the story that was supposed to come to you earlier, which says Tanzanian business communities have been urged to capitalize on business opportunities to sell Tanzanian products in the UK and boost the country's trade balance between the two countries. The move is expected to increase Tanzanian exports to the UK, which currently is estimated to be worth 46 billion shillings compared to the import trade of UK products in the country worth 4.24 trillion shillings. Let's get more details.
The call has been made in the city of Dar es Salaam during a business seminar aiming at highlighting business procedures and opportunities in the UK through Developing Countries Trading Scheme, DCTS. Speaking to the Ambassador and Director of International Trade and Economic Diplomacy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, John Ulanga, says that through the scheme, Tanzanian products sold in the UK will get 99.8% tax relief.
And for countries like Tanzania, we're benefiting from the best component of the scheme, which allows us to export to UK up to 99.8% of goods duty-free, quota-free. Means they don't charge duty and they do not have a limit of how much we can export.
Now, as we speak, it's only 24 million pounds worth of products that are exported from Tanzania to the UK. But UK export billions of pounds of goods coming to Tanzania. So it's our responsibility as a country to rethink about how do we reposition our exports, including agricultural products, including manufactured products, but also tourism products from Tanzania to the UK.
Speaking virtually, the British ambassador to Tanzania, David Konkar, urges Tanzanians to maximize on the opportunity, insisting that the UK needs more Tanzanian products.
We've all heard about the opportunity. You've heard from the experts. About the gap, this huge gap, 24 million pounds or thereabouts between, what's being exported from Tanzania compared with the billions that are being pounds worth of exports from South Africa and Nigeria.
This meeting has shown us that people needed to be knowledgeable about the opportunities in the UK market. They had misconceptions about these opportunities.
Tanzania Bureau of Standards sits on those meetings and they contribute towards the policies and procedures. And countries do adopt to those policies and procedures. They twinkle to sweeten the phytosanitary according to WTO and FAO in order to enhance or to harmonize the system in their own countries. Tanzania is already having their own systems, so they can do the same. But in case of if you want to import in other countries, first you need to have regulations and procedure in place. You need to know the market. What do they require? And also, you need to ensure that once you have got the market, how well are you prepared to comply with them?
Among the products in demand in the UK are clothing products, beans, coffee, fish fillets, fruits, flowers, and vegetables.
Now, before we wind up local news, let's take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. And here's international news as compiled and read by Nyambona Masamba.
UN officials say they are greatly concerned about the worsening humanitarian crisis in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Government troops are battling armed groups, including M23 fighters, in mineral-rich areas in east of the country. M23 have taken control of several towns, and the provincial capital of Goma is a threat. Decades of conflicts have displaced more than 7 million people. In recent weeks, the M23 have made significant advances, expanding territorial control and fighting against the Congolese military. Reports say the security situation is deteriorating rapidly and the humanitarian situation is reaching nearly catastrophic levels. More than 7 million people have been displaced in the country. DRC's ambassador to the UN called on the Security Council to take a stand against Rwanda, widely believed to be supporting M23. However, the Rwandese ambassador said it is Burundi and DRC the right roots of the regional tensions. To West Africa, police in Togo have shut down an opposition meeting to discuss the controversy of changes of the constitution. Registration passed earlier this week gives PMs powers to appoint the president and slide to abrupt election. The opposition say they won't allow President Faure Gnassingbé to extend his role, definitely after 19 years in power. Heading to the Caribbean, French military helicopters have arrived in 17 cities from Haiti to escape gang violence. The French foreign minister has urged hundreds of passport holders to contact the embassy in Port-au-Prince if they want to leave. The evacuees have been flown to the nearby French island of Martinique. Evacuation of foreign nationals from the country continue, and international observers warn of a worsening humanitarian crisis for 10 of thousands Haitians that have been displaced as violence in the country continues to surge. In the U.S., divers have recovered bodies of 2 workers from the Baltimore bridge collapsed. They are looking for 4 others who were repairing photos when the container ship crashed into the bridge on Tuesday, and all have been identified. Investigators have questioning the crew, and they are examining the ship data record to establish the cause. Investigation could take up to 2 years to complete. In Venezuela, firefighters are battling widespread fires that are threatening national parks and forest reserves. Crews are working to contain the blaze, but hard conditions and strong winds are making that difficult. And Brazil and France have unveiled their billion-dollar green investment plan to protect the Amazon rainforest. The announcement was made during the visit to northern Brazil by French President Emmanuel Macron. The plan proposed that the world system for the country investing in carbon sinks, such as the Amazon rainforest, which naturally absorbs CO2 emissions.
Now let's dive into the sports news. Simba Football Club head coach Abdelhak Benchika says all the important tactical preparations for their African Champions League quarterfinals clash against Al Ahly have been completed, eyeing to kick off the Egyptian giant Al Ahly from the competition. Our sportsman Stephen Kigora has more.
The lion rose. These Simba fans boast themselves in the streets. Chanting a song, insisting they want to kick out Al Ahly from CAF Champions League.
In any means, we as Simba fans, we want positive results and we want to finish the match here at our home ground.
Simba Football Club head coach Abdelhak Benchika believes that this is their time to advance further.
My plan as coach is to finish my game here, and I prepare all tactics against Ahly, and I'm sure we're going to win.
On the other end of Farah of Egypt, Al Ahly say they want to finish the game at Benjamin Mkapa.
It's going to be also a tough game tomorrow in the quarterfinals, and both games are going to be tough against a good team.
Benjamin Mkapa Stadium is ready for the big game of CAF Champions League quarterfinal tomorrow. Simba versus Al Ahly from Egypt. It will be easier for Simba to win in their home ground, or it will be difficult for Ahly to win in the away ground. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Stephen Kigora, TBC News.
Now, do not miss a chance to watch the game on TBC One tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. In other sports news, Tanzania Wushu General Secretary Ngora Kapipi says they plan to start a martial arts league aiming at scouting and developing the game in the country. Speaking during the announcement of the Martial Arts League in Dar es Salaam, Kapipi urges youth to maximize on the opportunity for the betterment of their lives, as the game will create employment and income for them.
We start from the streets. We have seen there is a lot of crime, but it is an opportunity for young people through these games.
We want to make the children disciplined, as well as being able to protect themselves.
Martial Arts League is planned to kick off on May 1st in Dar es Salaam, involving many arts like Wushu, Kung Fu, boxing, and Taekwondo. And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. But do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. I am Faida Ngaga. Good night.